Hello everyone and welcome back to another Figurehead Reviews video, and today we are taking a look at the Marvel Legends 6-arm Spider-Man from the Kingpin Build-A-Figure wave. Here we have Spider-Man in the front window. We get the Spider-Man logo, or name rather there. Logo's at the top. We do get some artwork, although it does display with thwipping hands, which we don't have thwipping hands with them, but we get the same artwork on the other side. On the back, we do get a product shot, and then down here at the bottom, we do have all the other figures needed in this wave to complete the Kingpin Build-A-Figure. And at the top, we do have the read-up. Hoping to cure his spider powers, Peter Parker drinks a special mixture and wakes up with 4 extra arms. And down here at the bottom, we do have the UPC code, so you can check with your local retailer to see if they have this in stock. But enough about that. Let's go ahead and get this open and take a look at the 6-arm Spider-Man. And here he is outside of the packaging, and I have to tell you, I'm a little bit torn on this figure. I'm very thankful for Hasbro for giving us this variation of Spider-Man. I think that is cool. It's a pretty significant time in Spider-Man's storyline when he does grow these extra arms, so I think that's cool to get this variation. But the execution of this particular figure leaves you wanting. And in fact, knowing that the doppelganger figure that's going to be coming out soon is going to be based off this, it has me a little bit concerned with that figure as well. When we get closer looks, we'll kind of take a look at some of the articulation and things like that that I have my major gripes on. This figure is coming in at about 6 inches tall, which puts him at 15 centimeters, when standing straight up, of course, not when he's in a pose like this. But yeah, let's go ahead. He does not come with any accessories at all or a Build-A-Figure, so let's go ahead and just jump right into the closer looks and take a look at Spider-Man. And looking up close, we can see we get a pretty classic looking Spider-Man head sculpt with the sculpted in webbing. I really wish they would have done some line work on that, just because I think that would have really helped make it pop a little bit more. But I don't know, I guess it's sculpted in there, so that's kind of cool. One thing you will see, very, very noticeable line there where the two halves are glued together on this body mold, and that is a real bummer there. This whole body, the top half, I'll be honest with you, it feels to me like a one of the basic figures in terms of just the style and the look of it. I mean, it looks like, I'm guessing that was maybe too much paint applied. Like, it's so thick there that the line work actually disappears compared to the other side. So you get that combined with that, and even the plastic just feels kind of cheap, I guess. But I mean, the spider logo and things like that came out looking good, so I'll give them that. And you can see that even the spider logo is sculpted on there. Little miss on the paint, not bad. You can see on the blue, you do get that classic sort of grid pattern or honeycomb pattern, I guess you'll call it, on there. So that is pretty cool. I like that on the shoulders of each of the 4 arms, we do have some sculpt work as if it's ripped out of the suit. I think that was a nice touch. It's a little disappointing, though, how on the hinges that does disappear. Understandable, obviously, why it disappears, because you can't have it on the hinge, but it's just a very jarring stop on there, so that is a little bit of a bummer. And then looking at the arm, we do get the classic where we have just the overly red pins on the inside arm there. And then this one, I think it was the other arm I have, there it is, had a lot of mispaint going on. And then I had something inside there. I actually cleaned it out, but you can see that little white stuff there. I don't know what the heck that is. I had to try to clean it out on the figure, and I didn't get it all. So, yeah. But hands came out, of course, looking fine. You got thwipping hands for the spider suit hands, and then you have fisted hands on each of the other arms. And the flesh tone looks good on these arms. The musculature looks good, so I think that's kind of cool. I wish we would have gotten some other hands for these other than the fists, but whatever. And then going down the rest of the figure, pretty standard design. We can still see that we have that honeycomb pattern on the legs, and then we do have the same sculpt work going down into his boots. But overall, there's really not a whole lot of paint going on, and like I said, the plastic just feels cheap. So looking at the articulation, you do have a head that can go side to side, can look down, not as far as I wish he could. Same thing when looking up. On all the arms, he has, of course, the ability to go up and full rotate, but he's going to hit some of these arms depending on how you have it. And then each arm is equipped with a bicep swivel and double jointed elbows, and then every arm does have rotation and a hinge on each of those fists. The biggest downer is all right here. He has no ab crunch and no waist articulation. With this design, I can understand why they had to cut the ab crunch, but I feel like they still could have put a waist rotation in there, and that would have just added a little bit extra. But man, that is just so limiting. He has legs that can come apart actually very far. He can kick forward very far. He can kick backwards, not too much. Upper thigh cut, double jointed knee, boot cut, and then a hinge and ankle pivot. But man, I really wish he had some articulation in the waist or in the midsection there. And for a quick comparison here, we have the 6-arm Spider-Man standing next to the Pizza Spidey, and you can see a lot of the size difference and kind of what I was alluding to about the 6-arm Spider-Man just feeling more like a basic figure. I mean, he's certainly a lot shorter than the Pizza Spidey, and even the torso, oddly enough, of the Pizza Spidey looks like it's longer than the torso on this Spider-Man, which begs the question, could they have done that? I've seen customs where they had the arms on this lower piece and then on the back piece there. I mean, I almost feel like you could have done a 6-arm Spider-Man with the Pizza Spidey sculpt. It would have taken some retooling, I'm sure, though, but yeah, oh well. And finally, we have all the figures in this wave standing next to each other, starting at the left with Puma, followed by Black Cat, Silver Sable, the Kingpin Build-A-Figure, Night Thrasher, the 6-arm Spider-Man, the Symbiote Spider-Man, and Red Goblin. And that about does it for this review, everyone. And overall, I just can't get over the fact that this just doesn't feel like a Marvel Legends figure. Subpar quality when it comes to like that, the side where I can see the two halves glued together, where the paint was applied too heavily there, and I get some of the detailing of the webbing lost. The fact that the plastic just feels cheap, the limited articulation in the torso, I get it, I understand. I could sacrifice the ab crunch with the understanding of what they had to do with that, but I still feel like you could have put a waist cut down there without having to interfere with what we got going on with the arms. I mean, on the flip side, though, it is a cool representation of a period in the Spider-Man story. So with that being said, this is going to appeal to really those kind of people that, like myself, that want to complete that Spider-Man collection and just have that representation. Otherwise, the fact that he doesn't come with a Build-A-Figure piece, this is a completely unnecessary figure for the wave if you're trying to build Kingpin. So I think you're going to have those people in those two camps where they want it because they want to flesh out their Spider-Man collection, or they're going to pass on it because it's an unnecessary figure to complete a pretty requested Build-A-Figure. So, but with that being said, if you like this review, please hit that like button. For more content just like this, make sure to subscribe. And aside from that, thanks for watching my video and have a great day.